So this video is brought to you with the benefit of hindsight. A couple of weeks ago I was on holiday. You always think about things you wish you had when you're on these flights and it's just too late. So this video is going to be excellent with lots of tips for you about what to pack in your carry-on case when you go on holiday with children. So this is just for your flight, but it's particularly useful if you're going to be travelling in the evenings. There are lots of things in here that I think you would definitely need, and some things that I wish I had thought of before. I'm going to start with what luggage do you take on board, because my husband and I had lots of bags. I had my big handbag, so it's a huge one. I also had a couple of sort of canvas bags. Then obviously when you're going around the shops, then you get buy stuff when you're obviously at the airport, you get more bags. Then it gets all a little bit confusing when you're on the flight trying to find which stuff is in what bag. So it was just a little bit too chaotic, and I have learned a lesson from that. This is a case that you can take on board. 4 wheels. I think it's important that they have 4 wheels so when you want to open them so they don't topple over. And I have packed it with some packing cubes and some plastic packing cubes for the flight, just to have it in a more organised way so that things are easy to hand when you want them. And this would have been so much better if I'd have done it like this rather than having bits in every single bag. So my children, the first thing I would say is, we're in a modern world, take an iPad with you, because if you're on a flight, there's only so much stickers children want to put in magazines and only so many drawings they want to do on a 4-hour or 5-hour journey. So I would definitely recommend bringing your iPad and downloading, which I did, downloading off Netflix, some movies and programmes for them to watch. I've also heard about the BBC app. If you haven't got Netflix, then you can just download the BBC app and then download programmes off the BBC, CBeebies channel and the CBBC channel. Now, I don't think about this. Headphones are kind of pretty important when you're on a flight, not just because the noise is going to disrupt other people who are flying, but also just because the children can't hear it, because the aircraft is so loud when it's travelling that they can't hear it unless they have headphones in. Another thing, I only take one iPad on holiday with me. I've got 2 children, but I only take one. This is partly because I can find a film that they both want to watch. Secondly, because a few years ago we took an iPad on holiday with us to Disneyland Paris and it got left on the train on the way home. And that's an expensive thing to lose, and although you can sort it out through insurance and everything, it's still annoying. So I'd rather always have an iPad at home that I can make sure is there and nothing is going to happen when we get back, because kids' lives without iPads doesn't happen anymore, does it? They need them in their lives. So this is a really clever thing. It is a double jack plug, so you can plug in both of their speakers into here and then plug this into the iPad socket, so they can both listen to the same film, same programs, wearing their headphones. So I definitely recommend that. And this double jack thing, I just got this one from Tiger, but you can pick them up in Amazon, all sorts of places, and they're only, this one was about £3.50, something like that. And then, I'm sure you already have this, but this kind of case for your iPad is awesome for carrying. It's obviously protected really well, and it's got a stand at the back, which is perfect for them to rest and watch a movie. And even in the evenings on holiday, we downloaded a lot of movies so that we could watch them in the evening together at the hotel. Obviously you don't want them on the iPad the whole time, so definitely take some sticker books, and these Usborne Activities ones are brilliant. So you've got all the stickers here, and they've got these sort of scenes that you can stick the stickers to make an interesting kind of scene. And they've got stories with them as well, so they're perfect, and that did keep my children entertained for a while. Don't do what I did and think, oh, I'll take this opportunity to get the children to do a bit more learning. They're going on holiday, they don't really want to learn, as I learnt myself. And yeah, so when I presented my son with this on the flight, his face was kind of horrified and said to me, "Mummy, I'm here to relax. I'm not here to do any learning." I was like, fair point. So here we go. Don't bother with this. Fine for at home, but I mean, your children might enjoy extracurricular maths activities, but when my son's going on a holiday, he doesn't. So forget that. Don't waste the weight in your luggage. Instead, I picked up these little white pads, which are perfect because my daughter particularly loves drawing. Actually, my son likes drawing as well. So just pack that. Don't forget to pack a pencil case. And again, that keeps them entertained for a little bit. Now, snacks are obviously very important for your journey with kids. I like to get these sort of cubes because I really don't like plastic waste. So I don't really tend to get plastic bags anymore to carry stuff in. So I'll just get these little plastic cubes. And they're perfect as well for taking a holiday for when you want to go on the beach and stuff like that, if you've got any snacks you want to take with you onto the beach. And then my kids just like Pommy Bears, these yogurt flakes. Let me know in the comments if your children also love Bear Yo-Yo cards. We have hundreds of Bear Yo-Yo cards. My son's been collecting them for God knows how many years now and is mad about them. He's even started a little YouTube channel on Bear Yo-Yo cards. And then lollipops, I'm not sure if it actually work when you're taking off because you're supposed to suck them to stop your ears from popping. I'm not sure how much it entirely works, but it certainly keeps them distracted. So always pack a lollipop for them to suck on as you're taking off. Not hard-boiled sweets if you have a 3 or 4-year-old, obviously, because the last thing you want on a plane when there is no chance of you getting off and getting to a doctor is any choking. So always with the lollies. So hoodies are also a great thing to take on a flight. I got this hoodie from Kimber Kids and it's perfect as well because it's got a bit of camouflage in, hide those stains. Yeah, and they're just a really nice cozy thing to easily throw off and on and snuggle up in if they're getting a bit tired or sleeping. On the tired and sleepy front, these things, these little head cushions, are perfect for flights if your children are going to be either napping or if they're having a sleep in the evening. This is the first year that I've actually used these, and what a difference. So the year before we went on a holiday and we got a sort of later flight and my children fell asleep on me, but they weren't entirely comfortable, wriggling all the time, and woke up a few times crying, which is just not what you want on a flight with lots of people. This year we bought them these from the airport and they were perfect. The children just slept like logs in them. And also when we were on the flight going out, which wasn't a late night flight, but it was an evening one, it was just nice and comfortable for them, and they could lean against the armrests or whatever with them, and just definitely worth buying one of these. It makes all the difference. And I've heard you can buy blow-up ones as well. I'm not entirely sure how comfortable they are compared to these ones, but also I've heard that they might not be allowed on some flights, obviously in case of explosions, I imagine. So yes, go for one of these godsends. So I have packed with these packing cubes, and I really recommend these packing cubes because it just makes it so much easier to grab something and have things organised. I have a blanket in here just for the evening flight. I didn't actually use a blanket on my evening flight, and they weren't too bad, to be honest, with their hoodies. They were quite fine. But if you're just on a longer flight and it gets cold, then take your own blanket, because I think they charge about £6 on flights for a blanket if you're not doing a long haul one, just doing a short haul one. And this was like about £2 from Tesco, something like that. In my packing cube I have the head cushions and the blanket, and then just slot them in, and that is so much easier because if you have them in a bag and it's all loose, could you imagine unravelling a blanket in the bag and just everything going all over the place and toppling everywhere? So packing cubes, these were off Amazon. I think they're about £4 and you get about 8 of different sizes. So brilliant idea, I think, and just makes things so much easier to lay your hands on. So when it comes to toiletries, I would 100% recommend getting some hand sanitary wipes, because our toilets aren't so bad, but sometimes when you go to toilets in the airports abroad, they are pretty disgusting, as I experienced. No soap very unclean, and I was so glad that I packed these so that I could wipe the children's hands and wipe the toilets before they even went on the toilet. Yeah, so these were great. I always love to brush my teeth. I'm a bit funny about my teeth being clean, so I always like to pack a little mini toothpaste and a travel toothbrush that pops open. And also, I hate having makeup on when I'm on a flight. I think maybe because of the air conditioning, my skin just starts to feel really dry. So I like to be able to take my makeup off. And quite frankly, I don't care if I haven't got makeup on when I'm on a flight. I'm never going to see those people again. So that's fine by me, and it just makes my skin feel so much nicer. Obviously, make sure you have it in these little clear containers that are under 100ml. Then I do pack a canvas bag into this larger luggage carrier, because I think when you're on the flight, just get the stuff that you want, put it in here, and you can kind of tidy up around the kids, because God, do they make a mess on the flight, especially when their crayons are flying all over the place, their dirty wrappers are all over the place. So just take one of these bags, and then you can just shove little bits in there, and it's easier to get your hands on when you're on the actual flight and sitting down, rather than having to keep going up above the overhead compartment. Now, for me, I would say this was important because it was kind of hot living in England, and it was obviously hot when we left Crete, which is where we went to, and so I didn't really think of packing myself anything too warm. But I saw a few other people doing this. It's a really good idea. Is a nice lightweight scarf, so you can just wrap it around your body when it starts to get a little bit cold. I did have a cardigan, but that just wasn't thick enough on the flight because it does get cold with the air conditioning. So a nice scarf that you can easily pack away. They're not too bulky, nice and thin, and then you can wrap them around you when you feel a bit chilly. And then also eye masks, because sometimes they don't turn the lights off, depending if it's a night flight. If it's an evening flight, they don't always turn the lights off, so an eye mask is probably quite nice. And then some little socks as well. And I got this amazing bag, which I'm going to be taking on holiday. I'm going for a girly holiday in a few weeks to Marbella for my friend's 40th. Let me know if you want to see what I packed for that in the comments. But yeah, so I got this from Penelope Hope, and you can get it initialised as well. So I paid a couple of pounds or £3 to get it initialised, so everyone knows it is mine. BC, before Christ, also known as Beth Campagna. Yes, this is lovely, and it's huge. So when I go on holiday with the girls, I imagine I'll be putting my hair straighteners in here. But yeah, perfect little bag. And then all you need for yourself is just a cross the body bag, and that's so much easier and safer to keep an eye on as well. So my husband always carries this one, his man bag, which he puts the passports in, and has everything easily to hand. And then in my cross the body bag, I can just have enough for my purse, my phone, and a few other things. But I also recommend that you bring for yourself some little headphones, so you either can watch something on your phone, obviously turn it on to the flight mode, and if you've downloaded anything from Netflix or any other app, then you can just simply watch it. And one final thing that I would say is t-shirt, the never off duty. I don't think there is a better t-shirt to be wearing when you're on holiday, or particularly taking a flight with children. Definitely never off duty. So I hope you found these tips useful. Please let me know in the comments which was your favourite tip, and I'll see you in the next video, which I'm planning to show you outfits that I would take on holiday, and also some of my favourite products to use on holiday as well. Bye for now.